Well, let's talk about the endowment effect. We tend to value things more highly simply because we own them. That's why it's too hard or so hard to let go of the possessions, even one we don't use. Well, it's also why free trials can be effective marketing tool. Well, have you experienced the anchor observer bias? We tend to attribute our own actions to external causes, but others' actions to internal causes. If we are late, it's because of the traffic. If someone is late, it's because of their irresponsible. Now, let's discuss the false consensus effect. We tend to overestimate how much others agree with our beliefs and the behaviors. This can lead to surprise when we discover differing options or opinions. Well, it's important to remember that our perspective isn't universal. Here is a common one, the negative bias. We tend to remember and focus on the negative experiences more than the positive ones. That's why one criticism can overweight several compliments. It's important to consciously appreciate positive moments as well. Now let's explore the Dunning-Kruger effect. People with limited knowledge tend to overestimate their abilities. Meanwhile, experts often underestimate their abilities, and it's why some people can be confidently incorrect. Well, have you heard of the unavailability heuristics or availability heuristics? We judge the probability of even based on how easily we can recall experiences. That's why we might fear plane crashes more than a car accident, even though car accidents are more or much common. Now, let's talk about the self-fulfilling prophecy. Our expectation about a situation can influence the outcomes. If you believe you are fail in the test, you might not study as hard, leading to the failure. Our beliefs can shape our reality. Here is an interesting one, the cheerleader effect. People tend to look more attractive in a groups than individuals. Our brains averagely out average out the feature of the group, creating a more attractive whole. And it's why group photos often look better than the individual ones. Let's discuss the backfire effect. When presented with the evidence against our beliefs, we might become more convinced we are right. It's why debates really change people's mind. We tend to doubt down or double down on our existing beliefs where challenged. Have you experienced the halo effect? We tend to think people who are good at one thing are good at everything. For example, assuming a physical attractive person is also kind and the intelligence. Well, it's important to judge each trait independently. Now, let's explore the nocebo effect. The opposite of the placebo effect is a negative expectations can lead to negative outcomes. If we believe a medicine will have a side effect, we are more likely to experience them. Our mind can sometimes work against us. Here is a common one, a Parkinson law. Work expands to fill the time available for its completions. That's why we often finish tasks just before the deadline. Setting shorter deadlines can sometimes increase our productivity. Now let's talk about the primacy effect. We tend to remember the first time in a series better than those in the middle. That's why first impressions are so important. It's also why the opening of the speech or presentation is crucial. Well, have you ever heard of the recency effect? We also tend to remember last atom in the series better than those in the middle. That's why the ending of the movie or book is so important. It's what we are left with when the experiences is over.